Hi, my name is Quintin Clark, Amramp in Kansas City. We did a ramp out there in Iowa. It's a little bit out of my territory, but nobody covers it, so I had to go out there and take care of it. A week or 2 weeks prior, we did another big ramp down there, and that's how we ended up doing another ramp in the same exact city. That was 2 hours or something away from us as well.
My name is Ryan Gamboa, and I'm a customer with Quintin at Amramp of Kansas City. My father-in-law was in an accident. He was hit by a semi while turning onto a highway. He had broken his back in several places, severed his spinal cord, and took his mobility from about his chest down at his T5. As he yearned to get back into a place of his own and back out of the rehab facility and out of the hospital, we needed to get him home quick. He wants to get back on his own and living in an apartment. The apartment wasn't ready. And then we decided that we needed to get him into our home and we needed a ramp. It started with one of the rehab specialists in our town up in Clarinda, Iowa. And he had worked for somebody else in town and installed a ramp. And so that gal had kept that in her back pocket for the next person that might need it. And I luckily called on a Friday afternoon and he picked up the phone and we were able to have a conversation, and he was in the midst of all of this different stuff going on in his personal life. He fit us into all of that busyness and craziness in his own life to put in this ramp.
During this time, it was rough for me because my dad had just passed. Doing that ramp kept me busy to keep my mind off of all the sorrow that I've been going through, because the options were like put him in a hotel or pay for this ramp and he's at home with family. They got some measurements and all that stuff from him, came up with a layout, came up with pricing, shot it to him, and they talked it over with the family. We went down on a Sunday to get that knocked out, because Monday, Tuesday, I was going to be back on the road to handle my father's funeral and stuff like that. So I grabbed 2 extra guys because it was a big ramp. Like I said, we went down there on that Sunday, laid out all our equipment, put the ramp up. They loved it, and it served their needs.
At 88 years old, you would have never expected to see him like this. He was active. He would mow the lawn. He would be at every sporting event, every kids event. He was going around having lunch in different places, doing things that he liked to do in his retirement. He's a military veteran. He served in Korea. So he's lived quite the full life. You know, it's like you can't get him to stop. You got to get him to slow down. So when this happened, it was a shock. And I remember going into the hospital and we not knowing what condition he might be in. And you get in there and you see him and he is like the same person on the surface level, but inside he's changed a lot. And so this loss of mobility has become something that has really challenged all of us, because his quality of life has changed. And now we're learning to adapt him doing the same things he liked to do, just in a different way. We're just trying to embrace it and ensure that life gets back to normal for him and for everybody, and he's well taken care of. People with disabilities, they deserve the same opportunities that everybody else does. And that goes back to the ramp. Without the ramp, we would not be able to get him in and out of our home. We have a split level house where only the upstairs is ADA accessible. And so for me to take a few pictures and send them to Quintin and build a ramp around the side of our house, at least an 8 to 10 foot slope that he had to go up, I mean, it's a big ramp. For him to be able to do that on such short notice, and then us to be able to have that security to get him in and out of the house, I mean, I don't think life would be the same. And so this is all about getting him back to where he wants to be in his quality of life.